Rick. You concluded your remarks by saying that economic competitiveness in the 21st century doesn't recognize 18th century political structures or something to that effect. And I wondered if you could say more about what you meant.
Anybody else wonder what I meant?
Well, I have some ideas because I've been saying some of the same things, but I'd like to hear your comments.
Well, it's the reality of the flattening of the world phenomena. What the governor and a whole bunch of other economic development people are hearing right now in Germany as they're traveling again on a I'll call it a business recruitment effort. But here's the way, I guess, again, when it really has come so clear to me, I think, in the last 4 or 5 years. But I mean, it's just, let's just take an example. A company, let's just, that Birgit and the governor are hawking to come to West Michigan. They don't care whether it's in Grand Rapids or Kentwood or Ada or Rockford. Honestly, they don't even care if it's in Kent County or Muskegon County or Ottawa County. That's just not how they make decisions. And so when I talk about the phenomena of decision making and globalization of economics transcends political boundaries. And it's not to say that, and again, I'm not trying to get into a fight and say that we need to eliminate political boundaries. I got other things I got to worry about. But the reality is that businesses just, they don't care. They want good governance. They want good quality, affordable infrastructure of roads, water and sewer. And then the human resource side, show me a trained infrastructure. And I forget, one of our panelists as well, and maybe we're all nibbling at it again, the importance of our post K-12 system. Training resources. We're suffering. We're paying a price for it. I mean, we got a lot of business. I got to make a political comment here too. We've had, and again, those of us that have been doing it. I mean, we used to have $30–40 million a year for training resources for businesses. It's gone. Now, we can argue the merits of whether or not that was the right way, and I happen to think that a lot of businesses got pretty lazy about doing training. On their own accord, especially on the manufacturing side. It was pretty nice. That's got to come back into balance again. But, I worry as well about, our competitiveness. And, I hear companies saying, it'll make a difference. You help me find another $1,000 or a couple $1,000 per employee that I'm hiring and engage the community college, and hey, we're off to the races. It's hard to be able to put that out there anymore as a competitive tool, and that worries me more than the tax policy stuff or the tax credits right now. It's just what are we saying from a priority? Do we really value our people and our retraining? God, I mean, the skill sets that people had 5 years ago are almost obsolete. I mean, for all of us. I mean, I don't care what business you're in and what organization you're in. I mean, if we're not paying attention to that, that's going to hurt us. So, we got to figure that out. And I get charged up by some of I think some pretty interesting initiatives that the workforce development people in Michigan Works are doing. That's a part of it. That's another fun thing about being sort of starved for resources, is that it's caused us all to innovate and think differently. How can we keep that going, and how can we advance it? How can we constantly improve it? Because I don't think it's perfect yet. We figured it out. But also, as we tell businesses, look, you have a responsibility to pay for workforce development as well. I mean, you had a great run here, but ladies and gentlemen, running your business, you need to be investing in your workforce. If you're walking the talk about the most important resource of your company being your employees, You better help train them and retrain them, or you're going to lose your competitive edge. Now, you're not investing in that, then you're not helping yourself either. I mean, that's kind of a reality message that you know, I've been pronouncing, and a bunch of others on our staff has as well. So, you know.
Thank you.
I
Absolutely.
would ask, what specific recommendation would you make on policy that would most benefit your community immediately? This is a public policy forum. Could be long-term, short-term. What would be, Ben, Jan, down the line?
I think that's sort of an easy question for me to answer, because the problems and the issues that confront the Detroit region and that involve the Detroit state dialogue now, they're pretty well defined. I think there is an urgent short-term need to address the fiscal situation, I've heard the dialogue publicly. I just got a briefing from, I was in a meeting with a briefing from the mayor this morning, and there is progress on that in terms of proposals, counter proposals. So that's obviously a short-term need that's really key, is to right that fiscal short-term shift. Over the medium term, I think that I would welcome the state's participation in addressing some of the land use issues around the region that Detroit is addressing through its Detroit Works project. That has policy consequences and policy implications in terms of the right way to coordinate the best use of the actually fairly abundant availability of industrial land. And then the third and long-term issue that continues to be worked on, which I'd love to see some more short-term progress on, is obviously the education systems, both in and around Detroit. And that is without sort of limiting that issue to a DPS system or a charter school system or a parochial private school system. All of those systems need to be addressed as a systemic whole. So those are the three priorities that I see that need to be addressed.